Welcome to the Vue Spreadsheet component tutorial. In this video, I'll show you how easy it is to create and edit worksheets in the Syncfusion Vue Spreadsheet component. I'll demonstrate how to add, delete, rename, and hide sheets, edit cells, and save or cancel changes. First, I open my existing project where all the necessary spreadsheet modules are configured and the basic spreadsheet code added. Using the eSheet stack, I have mapped the data source to a specific range in a sheet. I have also customized the columns using the eColumns tag. To learn more about integrating this spreadsheet into a Vue application, please check the Getting Started video linked in the card above and the description below. Let me run this application by running the npm run dev command. You can see that the spreadsheet is rendered with the provided data source. First, let me show you how to add a new sheet to the spreadsheet. To add an empty sheet, click the Add Sheet button in the Sheet tab or right-click the Sheet tab and select Insert from the context menu. This will insert a new sheet before the active sheet. Now I will demonstrate how to insert a sheet using an external button click. I install the Syncfusion Vue button package using the command npm install at Syncfusion ej2 Vue buttons. Next, import the button component from the installed button package and register the button component in the component's property. I add the EJS button tag and the content insert sheet. And I also add the inline style with a margin of 5 pixels. As mentioned earlier, I plan to add a new sheet using a button click, add a click event, and assign the callback method button click. Next, I define the button click method inside the method's property. I call the built-in insert sheet method using the spreadsheet instance. When the Insert Sheet button is clicked, a new sheet will be inserted before the active sheet. To insert multiple sheets, specify the start and end sheet indexes in the Insert Sheet method. When the Insert Sheet button is clicked, multiple sheets will be inserted before the active sheet. Notice here that I have bound the data to the spreadsheet using the data source property. However, I can also bind it using the insert sheet method and the created event. To do this, I first comment out the eSheets tag. In the created event callback method, I call the insert sheet method using the spreadsheet instance. And I need to pass the sheet model. Set the index to 1 and the name to order details. I add the ranges property and assign the order details data to the data source option. I will also add the columns property and assign widths to different columns. The index property is used to specify the index of the sheet, name to specify the sheet name, and ranges to specify the cell ranges. When the spreadsheet is initially loaded, the order details sheet will be inserted next to the active sheet. When this sheet is clicked, it will display the order details data. You can move a sheet by right-clicking the Sheet tab and selecting the Move Right or Move Left options from the context menu. Next, I will show you how to move the sheets to a specified position programmatically. In the button click callback method, call the Move Sheet built-in method using the spreadsheet instance, and I need to pass 2 parameters here. I pass the target index 0 as the first parameter and the index of the sheet order details as the second parameter. The target index specifies where the sheet needs to be moved. I change the button content to Move Sheet. Check now, the spreadsheet renders with 2 sheets. The index of the order details sheet is 1. When I click the Move Sheet button, it will move to index 0. Next, I will show you how to delete a sheet. Right-click on the Sheet tab and click Delete option from the context menu. I can also delete a sheet programmatically using the built-in spreadsheet method. In the button click method, call the delete method using the spreadsheet instance. You can delete multiple sheets by passing the start and end sheet indexes as arguments. Here, I'll pass an empty argument to delete the active sheet. Let me change the button content to delete sheet. Check now when I click the delete sheet button, the active sheet is deleted. Next, I will show you how to create a duplicate or a copy of an active sheet programmatically. In the button click method, call the duplicate sheet method using the spreadsheet instance. You can duplicate the sheet by passing its index as an argument. Here, I'll pass an empty argument to duplicate the active sheet. I change the button content to duplicate sheet. See, when I click the duplicate sheet button, the active sheet is duplicated. You can also duplicate sheet by right-clicking the Sheet tab and selecting Duplicate option from the context menu. To rename a sheet, right-click on the Sheet tab and click the Rename option from the context menu. Now I will show you how to hide the sheets programmatically to prevent unauthorized or accidental changes. Since I will continue adding worksheets using any sheets tag, I uncomment it. To specify the sheet visibility, include another empty sheet and set the state property to hidden. Then comment out the insert sheet method inside the created event callback method as the data source has already been passed through the eSheets tag. Currently, the newly added Sheet 2 is not visible, but you can make it visible by selecting it from the List All Sheets menu. When I change the state to Very Hidden, Sheet 2 is not visible in the List All Sheets menu. Next, I will show you how to edit cells in a spreadsheet. You can edit a cell by double-clicking it, pressing the F2 key, or focusing on it and typing a value directly. You can also edit cells using the built-in spreadsheet method. Inside the button click Callback method, call the Start Edit method. Let me change the button content to Start Edit. Check now, when I click the Start Edit button, the active spreadsheet cell changes to edit mode. To save the cell, click the Enter or Tab keys. Another option is to use the End Edit Spreadsheet method. In the button click Callback method, call the End Edit method using the spreadsheet instance. I change the button content to Save. See, now I can edit the cell and click this button to save. To discard editing, simply edit a cell and press the Escape key. Another option is by using the Close Edit method. In the button click Callback method, call the Close Edit method using the spreadsheet instance, and change the button content to Discard. Now I edit the cell and click the Discard button to revert changes. Finally, I'll show you how to prevent editing in column using the Cell Edit event. I add the Cell Edit event and assign the Callback method on Edit. In the Methods property, I define the onEditCallback method. I add an if condition to check the column as E and set the Cell Edit event argument's cancel option to true to prevent editing. Check now, I am unable to edit the cells in column E. You can refer to the API documentation linked in the description to learn more about other editing events such as before cell save and before cell update. Let me recap. I showed you how to create and edit worksheets in the Vue spreadsheet and a few basic features. You can download this working example from the GitHub link in the description below. I've also shared a link to see if you're eligible for our community license, giving you a free license key to use our Vue products. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe to our channel.